Hi, y'all. Choice here. Thank you so very much for joining me again for another session of Choice Spirit. Today, we're going to go back into the Word because the Word, not from the religious perspective, but from the spiritual perspective and just from the human experience. Word. Okay? So, Word, very powerful. It's a living thing. The Word comes out of the invisible, which is your mind. Once you get a thought and all of this stuff, the sensation, the thought, and then if you're going to communicate it, out comes a word. So when you birth the word, what you're doing now is bringing it from the spiritual, the invisible, into the physical, into your world now. Once you speak the word, and the word is always doing something. It's never null. It's never null and void. It's doing something. Like I said, everything ripples throughout. Okay? So how you choose to deal with words that are coming out of your mouth or out of the mouth of another is up to you. Words carry energy. And it's wonderful when you're around people and they're just sending words of love, of empowerment, of upliftment, of well-being, of perfect health. But then there's times when you're around people where it's not that they're deliberately doing this. It's just that they perhaps are unaware. And I spoke about that in another video. They're unaware of what words are. So when you speak a word and you're bringing it into the material, that means that if you have a loving spirit, if you're feeling a certain kind of way, if you're in a state of being where you're wishing people well, when that word comes out, it's going to be imbued with that breath coming from you. And the spirit, but it can hitch a ride on the words that you speak for sure. So that spirit of well-being is then within the word. And so this is how powerful words are, because it comes packing. It basically, when you see someone speaking a word, know this, it comes packing. Like word, okay? It comes with its cases. It's got the definition of the word, how it's defined. And we went into that how it's defined before when we talked about how someone defined the word black with the intention of creating people to feel insecure and unworthy and so on and so forth. But let's get back to the point here. Let me not go off on that. So, but it comes packing with the definition. It comes packing with the intention, with the motive, good, bad, or indifferent. It comes packing with the ancient vibration. But in this case, in the English language, I don't know what kind of I don't know. I rather let me leave that one alone. But it comes packing with all of these different things, okay? And depending on you and where you are, and let me also say this, the breath that's bred into that word also has in it the internal conflict of the person who spoke the word. So if their self-talk is positive or negative, that's in it. If their way of thinking is positive or negative, that's in there. Whatever it is, it's imbued in the word that they send your way. Now, your choice is put on your armor of love and let the words be deflected or return back to sender. It's that way, okay? So you have your armor of love, and there is nothing that can come up against you. There isn't anything that can come up against you that will prosper. That is like a word, like a sword, words spelled backwards, swords thrown your way. or whether or not they're love. Let's say areas of love and well-being or whatever. So you have that way of dealing with it, your armor of love, and then you also have, you can absorb it, take it in, and neutralize it. That means redefine, take it in, and which is the energy, the vibrational energy of that word, the frequency of that word, and make sense of it, and know that it's not personal, it's really not about you, it's about that person dealing with their own internal conflict, right? And then how you deal with that is when you understand, when you truly know this, you are not affected and infected by those words, because your way of neutralizing it is very powerful, you know. The other way, now you don't want to do that too often. You do not want to find yourself in a situation or a condition or an environment where it's consistent words of destruction and stuff like that. No man is meant to, or woman is meant to try to stand up and continue neutralize that type of abuse. Then you have to check within yourself and say, okay, what is it in me that keeps putting myself in situations like this where I'm having to deflect arrows, swords being thrown at me. You have to fix it, and you don't even have to go through the trouble of trying to figure it out. You just have to make the decision that that's done, and so it will be done. The other way is to allow it to come in, because you may perhaps are not even aware that it's coming in, because you are in a place where it just jacks you up mentally, physically, mentally. Those things are taking an effect on your nervous system. It's causing you to react a certain way, trigger you to causes triggers that cause you to become very agitated, upset, frustrated, angry, you name it, as a result of these words coming in, disrupting your whole nervous system, and you're unable to know how to deal with it or what to do with it. So you are taking it in, and it's infecting, affecting, affecting you. Now, when you get to a point in your life where those same words can come in, and before it used to just jack you up and have you like just messed up mentally, no longer does that anymore. You're no longer triggered by these words. You have quickly neutralized them, or they don't even affect you in the same way, which means that you have evolved, you have grown. You have grown, you have ascended. So the same words that cause the internal trauma within no longer has that command over you, no longer controls you in that way. And so now you have risen, you have grown to where now you are no longer at the mercy of someone's word. But all of this comes with awareness. It's like when we know better, we can do better. When we know the power of words, and we're in an environment or in a situation, and the energy is just shifting and changing because someone came in with their internal conflict, which actually you have called forth, because it gives you an opportunity to self-check, to check yourself, and then you can do whatever you have to do, which will let you know just where you are and how you have grown. Whereas perhaps just days ago, years ago, those same words would have had you ready to fight somebody, and no longer is that the case. In some cases, you can actually laugh at it because, it's not personal. But like I said, it gives you an opportunity to self-check, go inside and say, okay, what is it in me that is now calling this kind of stuff forward? And what kind of work can I do? Because we always do the self-talk. We're always working things out in our minds, arguing with ourselves, trying to rationalize things within ourselves, make decisions, and, debating within ourselves, within our own minds. And so we do this with words. And so the power and the energy of words, they are living things. So when you speak, know that you are breathing the spirit of something. You are breathing breath and life into a word that can actually change someone's life, can actually change someone's life. Another talk about words. Thank you. Choice here. Subscribe, thumbs up, share, leave a comment. Peace.